Behold, RPGs and Baby Makes 3.
RPGs and Baby Makes 3 Reimagined.
Just checking the weather, because that's what I like doing.
You do like to check the weather. You're kind of a weather person.
Yeah, but then I promptly forget it, so...
You do forget the weather frequently as well. You are a weather researcher and a weather forgetter.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Weather forgetter.
Yeah, but I find it very important in the moment, so...
It sounds like it should be some sort of like... I don't know, character in some sort of whimsical tale or the weather forgetter. I'm Rob, and that's Gretchen.
Hi.
RPGs and Baby Makes 3 Reimagined.
So we had the neighborhood meeting this week, and
Yeah.
we were beginning of the meeting, we were talking about how we are restarting meetings, and I actually put my hands up to do the reimagined thing, and then I realized no one else knew what I was doing, so I was just this goofball in front of all these people going, reimagined.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
Awesome! I love that. That's so great.
So, there's like 30 people being like, what the hell is she doing?
They're probably not even, they're probably thinking, am I missing something?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
We have had a hell of a week that we were kind of joking about that before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
So, that meeting, but that wasn't really, there was no, I mean, that was work, I guess, we had to do that, but that wasn't really problematic. It's really pretty much that it was all downhill from there.
Yeah. I think I actually got into a little bit of trouble for keeping the time to 1 hour.
People were pissed.
I think there was some upset about it.
Yeah, but I also reinforced the opinion of 1 hour meetings.
Yeah.
Because all of you parents, anybody out there who's listening who has to deal with meetings, you know that longer meetings do not mean more gets done. Longer meetings mean longer meetings.
No. And I think for neighborhood, there's a lot of stuff that comes up that's important, but a lot of it is personal tales. And while at heart I do care about what people are going through and I want to know about it, what we can do to help, there's a part of me that's like, I just had a really long work day and I really just want to go home.
And how does that...
we talk about this later?
Right, and how is that neighborhood business? And I think one of the things is, like, you want to have it just as long as it takes to go through the information in a concise and useful way. That's not... It is a neighborhood bonding thing. I think people, you do bond with your neighbors at those meetings to a certain extent. But we do lots of other activities that are really about bonding.
Yeah.
That's about getting information out to people.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for. The police show up, and the fire department shows up, and they're not...
Code compliance.
You don't want to have them sitting there for 45 minutes waiting to make their presentation. That's one of the things I always thought about.
I kind of feel like we don't need to go over everybody's 311. So 311 is the information line you call here to put a complaint or request for services in. And there were several people who basically wanted to put their 311 request for services in during the meeting, which doesn't really work that way. And so,
right.
I learned a lot about various neighbors.
So what you're really saying, though, not to get too deep into this, is that you have been playing the neighborhood activist RPG live action role playing
for many years now.
For like 5 years or more.
And we get a lot done, but we also roll a lot of ones when it comes to the city. And that's because they're throwing their dice. They're cheating.
Yeah,
every damn time.
You're fighting against,
the dirty,
way overpowered.
GM.
Yeah, like totally broken characters.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we're rolling 20-sided dice.
Like they're just cheating.
Every side is 20.
Well, no, it's like they have a 20 and you have a D6. It's not impossible to win, in a roll-off situation like that, but the chances are very slim.
I think it's more like you delay.
No, they delay. They delay until
Yeah.
they delay
Yeah,
and
that's
they
right.
delay
Yeah.
and they delay, and then if they
It's
lose, they appeal and they continue to go on. You know what?
I don't
We're getting
talk about
into
Let's
the
not talk
weeds.
about
Let's move on. This is for our enjoyment. And
Yeah, but you're going to ask, have we done any role playing this week? And yes, I role played the co-chair of the neighborhood association.
okay, so that happened. Then lots of other horrible crap happened all
yeah,
week.
so let's see. Lincoln and I both got strep throat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My body hurt more than I have felt it hurt in, I don't even, like, in memory. I don't remember ever hurting that much.
Not even when you gave birth.
Yeah. Like I'm
Wow.
pretty sure the cramping in my uterus, like I could feel my IUD in there. Like it just, everything hurt.
Wow. I mean, I knew you were in pain, but when the problem is with any of that stuff is like when one of us is sick here and the other one isn't, it's just that other person.
It's double time.
Yeah, that other person just does tasks from morning until night. Mm-hmm. And so like I cared for you. I made you tea and stuff like that, but there wasn't like
soup, and it was delicious.
But I couldn't like.
And you brought me this beautiful, crusty-looking bread, but I couldn't eat it because I knew it would hurt my throat.
Oh God!
So Lincoln ate
really
it for
good.
me. Yeah.
Is that olive and salt bread from Whole Foods?
God, it
so
looked
delicious,
so
y'all.
good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, having our child repeatedly bite his best friend this week. That was great.
Odie.
And now the cats are fighting. And
Nope.
that's another thing that happened this week. Our cat broke his tail, and we had to take him in, and we didn't realize he broke his tail. He's very old and has liver and kidney issues. Rabbit is his name, and so he's very old, and we're aware that he is coming near the end of his life. And so he broke his tail, but we didn't know he broke his tail.
He was just acting like he was on the verge of death.
We just thought he was about to die. So we were just basically freaked out. Mm-hmm. But good news, bad news. He's not going to die, but bad news is his tail's broken. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to heal, and they can't really do anything.
Nope.
So he just.
But it is the third time he will have a broken tail because he has definitely broken it 2 times before.
Oh yeah,
we got
he has
him.
a really janky but awesome tail because I like the jankiness.
I like the weird little wonky tip.
Mm-hmm.
Just
oh, we love
I
you,
love
Rab.
him so much. What else?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just gonna say pink eye.
Oh yeah.
Now I have pink eye, so that's awesome. In both eyes, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
you're gearing up for eye number 2 there. That's
yeah,
pretty
so basically
amazing.
I had to wear sunglasses inside and be a total a-hole all day today whenever I went out around, which was cool.
Yeah.
Also ran into an old friend who we have a strained relationship with at the burger joint.
Yeah, it makes me sad.
A little bit sad. You know how it is. All of you out there know, and I won't get into this, but we ran into a couple that we used to be pretty good friends with, and
and whom I still care about very much.
Yeah, who still care about, but for a number of reasons, a big reason one is, I was critical of
your big mouth.
My big mouth. Yeah, I mean, I spoke my truth.
In an article about a board one of them was serving on.
Yeah.
And a decision that was made. So it wasn't anything personal.
No, it wasn't attacky or anything. But, I understand why she would be hurt by it. But it's still, you know how it is, though. It's some people you are friends with for a long time. And sometimes you have sort of minor falling outs. But we were polite to each other just now. It wasn't.
But, hey... bright siding this week, Lincoln earned his red stripe on his white belt this week.
That's right. He got his first stripe.
Yeah.
Well, what are we telling people? Yeah, okay. You know what? It's been a week.
Let's
put it behind us.
Man, it has been a week. Period.
Why don't we put this behind us by rolling for initiative?
I feel like this should be our therapy session. Maybe we should
Everybody's just waiting for the dice.
Why don't we
roll
just
now.
set $80 outside for someone to pick up therapy session?
Well,
Okay.
more people have been listening lately, so I don't want to put our address out there. And thank you for all of that, by the way. There's been a lot more people listening, which has been great. So like and subscribe and keep on listening. We really do appreciate it. But yeah, let's roll for initiative. So actually, kind of some gaming stuff happened.
You mean other than my neighborhood association co-chair role? Yeah.
Yes. Other than neighborhood co-chair,
Yeah.
neighborhood association co-chair
So-
of the RPG.
We went to the VFW. What is it officially?
They call
called?
it a Dungeons and Dragons game, but they actually play. There's other games that go there, but the VFW monthly role-playing event.
Yeah, I loved it. I got to roll a d20 for a random shot.
Yeah, alcoholic shot.
Yes, it was creme de menthe and rum. I am not a fan of mint, but I rolled with it.
Heyo! Nice. And Chris Scrand, who is one of the organizers, is the bartender there. So she's like, elf ears on.
Oh, her makeup was adorable. Oh
she's
my
cool.
gosh, and her hair
She's
was
really
great
cool.
too. I just very cute. And then the table playing.
Yeah, we played with Kat Valentine.
Everyone else came unprepared too, which was really nice because we were unprepared.
But no, so there was one table that was totally full of people who seemed that they all knew what they were going to play and they all
They
showed
were
up
already
to play
playing.
it.
Yeah, they were into it too. They were in the midst.
We got there a little late, but it wasn't that late. It was like the event goes from 3 to 8, so like you're not going to role play for it. It's not a 5-hour session. It's like a 3-hour session.
rolled in at like 4:45, I think.
Yeah, and not like we had
Because
to
the babysitter locked herself out. We had to go,
we had
let
to
her
go back
in.
and let her in. Yeah, but Kat Valentine, Ghost Table Guilds, ran the game for us, and she was
She's
awesome.
hilarious.
Just coming around the table and talking in that one character's voice and everything like that.
Her
She
energy
was so good.
is wonderful. I don't know. She did a great job.
And there was a nice little, like one-shot scenario, ghosts in the basement sort of situation.
Yeah, and you could tell we were doing dumb things and making mistakes, and I just really liked the way that Kat would pause for a minute and then go, well, okay, we're going to do that. Okay, all right.
Well, because it was funny, because I think that, and it was Ronald was the name of the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny because the four of us, it was just the four of us, and then there was an onlooker, somebody who wasn't playing, but she was watching.
Very
the game
helpful.
onlooker.
Thank you for lending me your, battery.
Do you recall what her name was? We can give her a shout out.
No, that was weeks ago. No, it was days ago.
It was literally days
It
ago.
was
But
days
we
ago.
talked about all of the things that happened in between this
Yeah.
game and that.
Yeah, so, I think people
This
understand.
podcast and that game. But yeah, like, Kat ran this game, and I think, Ronald forgot he was going to run, it wasn't Transformers, the RPG?
G.I. Joe thing? Sailor Moon?
Power
Or
Rangers?
Power Rangers.
Yeah. So I guess, the G.I. Joe RPG, the Transformers RPG, and the Power Rangers RPG all run on the same system and are technically considered to be in the same world.
Oh.
Or the same universe.
Oh.
And so he has the 3 RPGs, and then there's a supplemental book that puts them all together somehow. So you can have all of those together. But he was going to run, I think, Transformers, but he had forgotten some stuff. So he was missing stuff. Kat didn't have her binder. She left it behind. And everybody was kind of running late. And so Kat just ran this game. And I thought that she did a really nice job on it, but I also think she recognized that all of us were a bit out of sorts and we just wanted to blow off steam.
Yeah.
Because it ended up being just a really fun, laid back, we were laughing a lot. At one point, the ghost starts choking. You want to tell the story? The ghost choking your character?
Oh, yeah. So, first of all, I couldn't come up with a character name, so I named my character Bee-Boop, because that's all I could come up with. I don't know. It's kind of... So, yeah, the ghosts start choking my character, and she makes a a noise that she likes it, and then
Yeah,
the ghost
like
got
a sexually
uncomfortable,
gratified
and the ghost
noise.
got uncomfortable and stopped.
So that's how she got out of the ghost's grasp. And Kat
Ronald's
rolled with
character
it.
gets murdered with choking, so that was,
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
yeah. But it was a good game because it was funny, and I think like that's nice when you can.
Pretty sure we had some moments where we were laughing so hard we had tears.
My face hurt. I had a headache when we left because of laughing so hard at that game because my face had been
Maybe
so.
that's why I had a headache too.
Which could have also been all of the salt and that yummy food that we
Or it
ate.
could have been the shot.
Could have been that.
Yeah.
But I didn't drink, so that's not my excuse.
Nope.
But yeah, that was fun. And then I did Temple of Elemental Evil, which you can find on our YouTube channel, which you might be listening to right now. But on our YouTube channel that was our 15th game, but technically session 13. And that was last night, actually, at the time of this recording. Was that last night? That was last night.
Last night. Long ago and far away. But to go back to Sunday, it was the first time I'd used the D&D online thing.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, and I know people have a lot of issues. I don't know what those issues are for the most part, but I really, really liked clicking on something and it rolled for me and did all of the math. It was nice.
You did.
I'm not a math person. I get overwhelmed by all the numbers, and then once I start getting worked up, it's just all downhill from there.
Well, so since we were playing a 5th edition game, I think the one thing that was really beautiful about that is that we were making 5th level characters, and we were able to use D&D Beyond and make those 5th level characters in 5 minutes. And I think that was what was really great. And I even played
No, it took way longer than that.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Because there were so many problems with the website. It took like 10,
So you
15
loved
minutes?
D&D Beyond's functionality once we were logged in.
Once we were logged in. But my God, I mean, it took Ronald basically holding my hand. He actually had to take my phone.
You know that's bad.
Yeah. And I think you somehow bumbled into it. I don't know.
There was something weird about it. I don't remember exactly how I got around to it. But then the funny thing is that Ronald had invited us to be part of one of his campaigns so we could have access to all of the books. And somehow I didn't end up joining the game. I signed in and I made a character, but I didn't make it in his campaign, so I didn't have access to all the books. I just used the player's handbook. But who cares? I mean, we're playing a one-shot. I was like, I just want to make a character really fast. I played a bard.
Yeah, you played a stoner.
Yeah, I played a stoner bard. That was really fun. In one-shots, I like... Yeah, so I played like, it's like, dude, bro, this is like really like not chill. Why do we have to attack everything? And I was doing this kind of thing the whole time. I love kind of doing that fish out of like the contemporary characters in medieval or fantasy settings or out of their ordinary setting for one shots. Mm-hmm. I think it would be super annoying for a campaign, but for a one shot, I thought it was really fun to do that.
It was pretty entertaining.
But yeah, I loved being able to make the character though once we finally got logged in.
And we were all low intelligence. We all had like an intelligence
Every one
of
of
like
us.
8.
Yeah. Well, it's only 3 characters, but yeah, we all had.
Still, we were all dum-dums.
We all did our dump stat.
We were strangely wise.
All of us were super wise. Very weird.
I don't know. That was a lot of fun.
That was. And then Temple of Elemental Evil. Been running that. That's been great. And then been playing in Chris's Krakenheim game.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk about that a little bit tonight because I have a topic for us. So,
you do.
Should we get to our main topic here? Where we have a short amount of time, so we're going to get through this really quickly.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get to our main...
Can you be abbreviated?
Let's see what happens.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
All right, so I came across this article at CBR.com. Here's the headline. It says, Dungeons & Dragons DM harassed by players for ending 2-year-long campaign. A DM for a beloved tabletop RPG Dungeons & Dragons faces harassment from their own players after trying to end the group's 2-year-long campaign. So, this was I come across these articles every now and then, and they're sort of based on RPG threads that have happened recently on like Reddit. Conversations about RPGs that have happened on Reddit. I actually don't really go on Reddit, but I come across these stories, and
I do. It's a poop show.
And essentially, this person put together a game like 2 years ago. They had never run before, and got like personal friends of them to play in this game, but didn't know how to play. Never had run before, so they put together this game, and they wanted to end it. So this is what they write. This is the user, and we can kind of discuss this a little. The user is Perger4382, if that means anything to anybody. Every time I remind them that we're coming up on the end, they literally yell at me in a way that's honestly really demoralizing, the DM's post reads. They tell me to retcon the mistakes, just teleport them somewhere else, etc. And one of my closer friends told me that if I end the story, he's just done playing. These guys are all in real life friends of mine. We hang out all the time, but this has made our friendship kind of strained. So one of the things that the DM was saying, and one of the reasons he was giving to the players, is because like that was the first time he'd ever run a D&D game. And so, like, didn't understand world building, and, like, characters are way out of whack in terms of their relative power levels to each other and stuff like that, because didn't know anything about how to balance it and stuff. But this all got me thinking, because, well, first of all, what's your reaction to that?
I can understand being attached to a character, but also it's just a game. Don't ruin a friendship over a game. We've seen what a game can do to a friendship, and we permanently lost out on that friendship. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good point. It's just a game, and we've talked about that. So, I guess I'm going to... DMing is hard.
It looks hard.
And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. And people like Matt Mercer are not the norm. Most GMs and DMs are not going to be that amazing. I think GMs need to be praised. need to be accepted and understood. And like I hear this, I see this happening, this description of what's happening with this DM, and man, I'm just like, you ungrateful a-holes. I mean, that's really what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years of setting up games. Did it say how often they played? No,
but there were 16th level characters.
Oh my god.
So like, at least frequently enough, like, from what I understand, like, I know, like, Pathfinder, for example, it's sort of designed, or I think in contemporary gaming, fantasy games like Pathfinder and D&D, I think most of them are, like, I know Pathfinder Society, for example, 3 adventures you gain a level, 3 one-offs. So, like, let's say they gain a level every 3rd session. I mean, that's still, what, 60? No. I don't know. My eyes
your
not
eyes
working.
Making your math bad.
Making my math bad. But
no
plenty.
matter what, it's. I've seen when you first began, you would spend hours every week setting it up. It would make me so angry because I was like, "Where the hell is my husband? I want some time with him, and he's just writing in his freaking notebook." And then you started doing like little cheaty things, like what's the DM book to make it easy? We used to talk about it all the time.
Oh yeah,
Lazy
Dungeon Master. Yeah.
And then we found certain decks that'll help you pull bad guys or scenarios and things like that still keep the game going and fun and fresh and unique, but
more unique actually. If I'm being honest, being open to improv in a game makes it better, but yeah.
It's a lot of work. And I think burnout is a very real thing. I've seen you get burnt out.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, the solution is simple. The DM doesn't really want to run it anymore. The DM is a player in that game as well. And if everybody is not enjoying themselves, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
That's the way, that's all there is to it. Something needs to change. And, I mean, I think one counter, if the DM wants to start running something new, embrace it, to the opportunity to try something new, and then maybe broach it to say, hey, you know what, we're really attached to these characters. I know you want to break. Can we maybe consider doing like a short adventure with them again at some point in the future when you feel comfortable? No pressure, but like whenever you feel comfortable, you think, and that's like a totally that'd be like a perfectly normal compromise, something along those lines.
I mean, we pick up and drop games quite a bit because schedules get weird, interests change. It's just the way it is. I don't know. Like all things in life, you need to be fluid. You need to be able to go with the changes, go with the flow, and just realize that, you gotta adapt, you gotta move. If you're playing in a group, everybody's gonna have different things going on. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also, like, you gotta, like, work with the DM. Like, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. Anybody that runs games out there has strengths and weaknesses. Like, I noticed, so for example, I was running Temple of Elemental Evil yesterday, and the plan was they had to have a meeting with this wizard to get a reward.
Was it Mr.?
Mr.?
Yeah.
Mr. what? Mr.
Mr. Wizard?
Mr. Oh, God. No, it was not Mr. Wizard. It was Burn the Wizard, actually. And,
you missed out on an opportunity there, Rob.
I know. I was never really a Mr. Wizard fan so much. Were you a Mr. Wizard guy, lady?
I must have been because I remember some of it, but I really don't remember it.
I vaguely remember it, too. So, they have to go get this reward, right? We've had, like, all of the lead up to it. They already know what they're going to choose. Okay? That's it. And then, after that, they're going to go back to the moat house and continue on the adventure. The game begins, and I'm like, well, I don't want to just... The previous session had only been 2 of the players had been there, so we played this little side quest. And so it's like, I wanted to just get a little bit of role-playing. Everybody gets back together at the tavern, and they start to talk about, well, what happened? Like, what do we do?
Right.
That ended up taking forever, right? Like, it was all this whole thing. And I'm describing, like, the smells and all the stuff, right? And then they go to meet with the wizard, and I'm, like, describing all this stuff that's happening. And this guy, like, I set the scene, I do all this stuff. And after it was all over, I realized, by the time we were done, we were halfway through the session. The 3-hour session. We'd spent an hour and a half getting back together at the tavern, and meeting with Burn. And I realized that I have a strength and one of my strengths is that I have a flair for description, but one of my weaknesses is sometimes you just got to move it along. And I got stuck.
Really? You got stuck talking at length about something.
Like this right now.
I'm so surprised.
But the point is the players, like, I could see, they still stayed engaged. And that's and I give them credit for that, because I understand that as a weakness of mine. But they didn't judge me for it. They're like, at the end of this, great session, that was a lot of fun, and blah, 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 Like, when you're playing with understand they're human being, and they're doing the best they can, and they're there entertaining you. Like, but they're not...
For free.
Yeah, we're not all Matt Mercer, and we're not all, like, Hollywood scriptwriters or, like, comedy writers or whatever. Like, we're doing our best just to get things, yeah. Well, usually for free. I mean, we're not talking about paid for GMs, but I'd have expectations from a paid GM that I would not have with a free one.
Yeah, we were gonna.
Yeah,
we still need to
maybe do that. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. Kind of like player etiquette, I guess you might say. That doesn't mean you have to stick around if you don't like a game. But understand, like, the DM is doing the best that they can. So if there's an issue, approach them with kindness and love and understanding that, hey, like, they're doing something difficult, and it is to bring you some certain level of joy and entertainment.
I think you're good at it too. You're very entertaining.
I think I'm decent. Yeah, I think I'm good at it. You know, I think I have a really good way of balancing.
You amuse me.
Yeah, plus I kind of keep the rules moving usually. You know, I don't get stuck in it. And I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, people might get mad at you if you stop things at a certain time.
I stopped the game at 10.
You know, but I stopped our meeting
I know.
at 7:30.
Because
I was a good timekeeper. I wanted to go home.
I know. Well, anyway. Let's move on. Shall we?
Yeah, whatever.
You're just... Can you take it down a notch, please? Can you calm down a little bit? It's been a long week, as we've described. So let's get to our end sessions. Oh, see? I can't even speak it. Let's get to our end section, shall we? ...
Now say that 5 times fast.
Nope.
Time to put the boogeyman to bed.
Well, we normally talk about books, but I think we're kind of in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to keep our kid on a sleep schedule.
Yeah, we have to go pick up.
And the last 2 books I read were just terrible.
I have been reading the Ghost of Saltmarsh module because that is what I'm going to run for the new group.
Yeah.
I did read. I think I might have finished Junior Brave's Guidebook to the Apocalypse before.
You've been reading a lot of
I
books
finished
lately.
that, yeah. I read Rebel Crown, which is a Forged in the Dark game. That was good. A lot of RPG stuff. I really like that game.
Can you still put that on your Goodreads? Does that show
Yeah.
up on Goodreads?
Uh-huh.
Okay, nice.
I liked that. I like that game, but I don't think you do. If you recall, that's the one where somebody plays the claimant and everybody else plays like their closest advisors, like a scoundrel or a
Yeah, it does not
knight or
sound
whatever.
interesting to me.
And you try to retake the kingdom for your name because it's usurped from you
Nope.
by your uncle.
No.
So yeah, but it's actually I think it's pretty
nope.
cool. I think it's pretty cool. The only thing I would be critical of it while I was reading it was that I had also read the Blades in the Dark core book, and I felt like if I didn't already know how to play Blades in the Dark, it wouldn't be impossible to pick up just from reading that Rebel Crown book, but it would be hard. I don't feel like it was really truly fleshed out if you don't already know how to play Blades in the Dark to play this sort of, Forged in the Dark, sort of similar kind of game system. And that'd be my only criticism. But I do know how to play Blades in the Dark, so it was good. Come on.
You still have glitter on you?
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was another thing. When Lincoln and I were playing.
You just looked over at me and I just see your forehead sparkle.
I did a lot of laundry today, and it was coming out of the laundry.
Yeah, when you let your kid play with glitter, guess what happens? This is why I don't keep glitter in the house.
No, and I didn't even really give him... I think I'll give him access to that much, but man, a little bit goes a long way.
A long way. And you know what? When he runs out of that glitter, that's it. That came in a kit. I'm not getting that kit again. No more glitter. This is a no glitter household.
I've also been reading the collected works of Conan.
Oh, yeah.
By Robert E. Howard, and
Oh.
our friend Dom is going to run some Conan.
Yeah. Who we ran into at Costco.
We ran into at Costco.
Yeah.
Dom, who plays Tuctrin in the Temple of Unknown Evil game, is going to run some Conan. And I'm going to try to get him to stream it. I think he'll be a good GM. I don't know what they call it in Conan. What is it? Fight master, pit master. Let's get out of here, dude. I think we're done. We're done.
And we have a bird.
You hear this bird? What is it? Let's identify it.
Carolina Wren.
We just did a live bird ID For the first time.
You know what's funny is I thought it was Carolina Red, but I got nervous.
Look, can you replay it on here so everybody can hear?
Yeah, okay.
Carolina Red.
Oh, wait. Why can't we hear?
We just did a live.
There you go.
That was cool.
I mean, it's still going on. I don't need to replay it.
I know. But maybe they can't hear it. We could be talking about something that none of them can hear.
Yeah, but in post you can crank that up.
In post?
I mean, that's what everybody tells me, and I make it happen.
Yeah, but you get paid for it.
Okay.
All right. You guys, you all out there listening, got to pay me with some likes or something this time. Because apparently I have to do some stuff in post. And maybe I already did by the time you're listening to this. Well, let's get out of here, Gretch.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Thanks you all
Sorry
for
for rambling.
No, I'm not sorry. They chose to listen this far.
I know. If you made it this far, oh my God.
If you made it this far, may your next dice roll be a critical hit.
Take care, y'all.